Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news from New York, where former President Trump's plane just touched down. He's appearing in court tomorrow for last week's historic grand jury indictment. Trump's plane landed at New York's LaGuardia Airport about 2.5 hours after taking off from Palm Beach International Airport. Now, he did just get off the plane. He went right into a black SUV. Take a look. This is new video that we just got into the newsroom. He is traveling with several senior campaign aides. Now, Kimberly Gale joins us now to talk us through exactly what is going to happen next and really how the city of New York is preparing.
Yeah, right, Karen. Good afternoon to you. The former president is headed to Trump Tower to spend the night. As we take another live look here, the Secret Service is scheduled to travel with Trump to the Manhattan courthouse tomorrow afternoon. He'll then become the first former or sitting president ever to appear in court charged with a crime. That's when the indictment will be unsealed and we will learn Trump's exact charges. They're expected to be related to hush money payments made ahead of the 2016 election to two women who claim to have affairs with former President Trump. Trump will be booked by investigators and have his fingerprints taken. Trump is not expected to be handcuffed and will likely be released after his court appearance. His team says he will fight the charges and has no plans to plead guilty. The mayor of New York City says police are prepared for tomorrow, saying there are no credible threats as of right now.
While there may be some rabble-rousers thinking about coming to our city tomorrow, our message is clear and simple. Control yourselves. New York City is our home, not a playground for your misplaced anger.
So Karen, Trump is expected to arrive at the courthouse tomorrow morning at 11 with an arraignment set for 2:15. After that, sources say he plans to head back to Florida, where he has a scheduled speaking event.
So, this is interesting, obviously, because he's in the middle of a presidential campaign. So how does this indictment play into all of this?
And Trump's team says it has raised more than $7 million since he was indicted Thursday. So we'll be watching these new developments, and we'll have a report from New York coming up when you join us on the news at 5.
All right, we appreciate it.
Sure thing.
Thanks, Kim. All right, in other news today, First Lady Jill Biden's visit to Michigan is postponed because of an issue with her plane. She was supposed to arrive in the state within the last hour and visit Delta College over in Bay County. The White House hasn't said more about that plane problem, but did say she was diverted to Denver. The White House says the visit will be postponed. The student union on the campus of Michigan State is back open less than 2 months after the deadly shooting. 3 students were killed when the shooter opened fire in the union and nearby Berkey Hall. Therapy dogs are at the union all day and extra security measures are in place. Memorials and tributes to the victims are on display. Berkey Hall will stay closed through the fall semester. Well, the cleanup is just getting started down in Monroe County after a tornado hit downtown Dundee over the weekend. The EF0 damaged businesses that are now working to reopen. Sean Lay is there with a closer look at the damage and also the efforts to get the downtown back up and running.
Well, good afternoon from the very heart, the very center of Dundee. This is where that EF0 tornado touched down right here Saturday morning. You can see significant damage here. Fingers are crossed here in town because this historic building, it's been deemed unsafe. They must get a structural engineer here to check it out. It includes businesses and apartments on top. Fingers crossed that this building won't have to come down and the businesses can reopen and the people who live here can get home. Walk across the street because these things are so unpredictable and really interesting. This building, absolutely untouched. In fact, there's a bird still nesting there. Got to see it all. We're talking to people live at 5 and 6 o'clock about the damage, and we're with a brother and sister. The brother's home got damaged in a tornado in 2010. Sister's apartment got damaged on Saturday. I'll see you live at 5 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Sean. Now, some rain outside right now, so if you've got plans tonight, it's a good idea to grab that umbrella. Forward meteorologist Ron Hilliard is in for Kim today with our first look at your forecast. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Kim, Karen, we are seeing quite a bit of activity out there across the area. I do want to show you what's going to be happening. We have flood concerns across the region, and what's happening is that we are seeing heavy rain moving back into the area. These are the impacts. We are seeing those rain showers moving in today. We have more rain and thunderstorms that are possible for tomorrow, and then on Thursday, things clearing on out, and then Friday, things looking a little bit better out there. So as we go over the next few days, we are going to be seeing quite a bit of moisture across Southeast Michigan, we are going to be seeing wet weather, even the chance of some thunderstorms, especially Tuesday night and into Wednesday. Now, these are the areas that are going to be most of concern with the flooding. Now, we're seeing the flood watch going through tomorrow morning for Genesee, Lapeer, Senelec, and St. Clair counties. Across the area, we are all seeing some rainfall, so you could see some mechanical flooding perhaps on your street, in your driveways, on your grass. We've already got quite a bit of saturated soil out there. Detroit right now, it's 57. We're at 50 in Howell, 60 in Adrian. So we are going to be watching these temperatures on the rise over the next couple of days, and this will help us see those storms develop on Wednesday. Karen?
All right, we appreciate it. Thanks. That Chinese spy balloon that crossed part of the country and then was shot down earlier this year was able to get some sensitive information. Two senior U.S. officials tell NBC News the balloon gathered intelligence from several military sites. They say it was mostly done through electronic signals, not pictures. China has repeatedly said that balloon was an unmanned civilian airship that strayed off course. The balloon had a self-destruct feature that could have been activated remotely by China. Pope Francis is getting a break from his public schedule today after being released from the hospital over the weekend. The Pope kicked off the Holy Week for Catholics with a Palm Sunday service in St. Peter's Square. The Pope was released from the hospital Saturday following successful treatments for a severe bout of bronchitis. His schedule, though, picks up again Thursday ahead of Good Friday and Easter on Sunday. Now, to a local effort to get more women back into the workforce. Numbers from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce show more than 1 million women who left their jobs during the pandemic have not returned 2 years later. Paula Tubman is in Southfield, where free help is being made available for women who want to jump back in.
Believe it or not, way back when, this program was called the Displaced Homemakers Program. Well, we know in 2023, there are a variety of reasons women leave the workplace and also decide to come back in. We also know that right now, today, it is an employee's marketplace. But just because it is your time and your marketplace, that means you need information and education to make sure you're actually optimizing this climate. Gesher Human Services, formerly JVS Human Services, is offering its new workshop, Women to Work. The free program teaches women all the tools they need to maximize this current work environment.
So we're talking about resume and cover letter, right? Every applicant needs to have a resume that shows work history or some version of experience. We're going to help with job search. So job search could be online job search on one of the many different sites, whether it's LinkedIn or Indeed or something else.
A common question being asked right now is, where did all the workers go? There is a stinging, painful deficit in workers from the service industry to the C-suites of our nation, and a growing desperation to find employees. During the pandemic, those who could work from home did. Those who had to teach children pivoted, and many of those people were women. Today, according to the Department of Labor, there are 10 million jobs open. In 2020, at the height of the pandemic, women's unemployment surpassed men's by more than 4%, and that number remains fairly steady today.
We're going to talk about networking. Who do you know, and how can you approach them to let them know you're looking for a job, and what is that field you're looking for?
Here's how this works. Here's why this works. When Susan decided to leave the workforce and stay home for 7 years, she took the Gesher Women to Work workshop when she decided the time was right to return.
I felt that I had lost part of myself and needed to reinvent myself.
She says what she learned and got from those workshops made the difference between re-entering the workforce and commanding your way by returning to the career force outside of the work being done inside her home.
It gave me the confidence to say I can use the skills I've learned from building relationships to make myself a valuable component.
This Women to Work program is great for somebody who says, I'm ready to return to work. I'm getting ready to return to work, right? The program runs 4 weeks. It takes time to really build all of those things out as an individual in a group.
Yeah, and again, you really need to take into consideration whether or not you're re-entering the workforce or the career force. Karen, I want to go back to Susan just a moment, because she said not only did she learn these valuable skills, these tangible skills, but it was also the camaraderie of the group, other women in there going through it at the same time. And she really did create some significant friendships. New workshops starting this month. We're going to put information on clickondetroit.com so that you can find the email of the person you need to connect with if you are a woman even thinking about re-entering the workforce or the career force. Karen?
Love the program and love all these connections of women helping women. This is great news. All right. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Still ahead, first at 4, could gas prices surge this summer? What just happened overseas that experts think could send prices above $4 a gallon this summer? Plus, Michigan will have a very special connection to NASA's next mission to the moon. But first, the teacher shot by her 6-year-old student is suing her school. Why she says administrators dropped the ball and she's owed millions. That's next.